Coming up on this October 14th edition of Sports Extra, the field hockey team makes winning look almost too easy.
And don't call it a comeback. The volleyball team showed Tar Heel fans that the season is far from over.
And the women's soccer team might be ranked third nationally, but it's definitely ranked #1 in Tar Heels' hearts.
We have all that and so much more.
Sports Extra starts
right now.
From the University of North Carolina School of Media and Journalism, covering the Tar Heel athletics. This is Sports Extra.
Three women's teams in action this weekend, 3 clean sweeps. Good afternoon, I'm Devontae Anthony.
And I'm Brian Gallagher. Thanks for joining us. Women rule the world in terms of Carolina sports. Let's start with the undefeated field hockey team, which took on Syracuse University Saturday afternoon. Star players Erin Matson, Catherine Hayden, and Marissa Creator form an offensive powerhouse. Matson started the game hard and fast, passing off the shot to Creator, who set up the first goal for Hayden. Later, Matson showed off her technical skills as she weaved through Syracuse's tight defense to score the second goal off a corner. The Heels showed that teamwork makes the dream work when Hayden perfectly placed the ball in front of the goal for Creator to knock it in. The Tar Heels beat the Orange 3-1 for their 34th win in a row. Albany was the victim on Sunday when the Heels found their first goal in the 19th minute off a penalty corner. Yento Lehmans on the pass to Erin Matson. 7 minutes later, on another penalty corner, Lehmans is able to nail the ball right out of the goalie's reach. Matson mercilessly continues to light up the game. In the 29th minute, Matson shot a rocket in the back of the Albany net off the tip from Romeo Ricardo. And in classic Matson fashion, the sophomore weaved with ease through all the Albany defenders, and in the 56th minute, she got her 4th goal, 20th on the season. The Heels win 4-1, making it 35 straight victories. The dominating field hockey team is a consistent top team because of Carolina's competitive forward players. Sophomore Erin Matson leads the Heels with an astounding 20 goals this season. Senior Catherine Hayden ranks second on the UNC team with 12 goals scored, and senior Marissa Creator has 9 goals on the season. The 3 forwards are 3rd, 4th, 5th, respectively, in the ACC for goals scored. Matson is also second in ACC with 10 assists. These 3 players look to help continue the Heels' win streak. Today we have one of those stars live at Karen Shelton Stadium with our Caroline Boyer. Caroline, take it away.
Thanks, Brian. I'm here with the amazing Marissa Creator. Marissa, thank you for being here today.
No problem.
Your team had an outstanding performance against Syracuse on Saturday. You had a goal of your own. Walk me through that shot.
Yeah, so it was a really unselfish pass from Erin down to me. I was on the baseline, and I saw Catherine running in at the far post, and I know she's great at those deflections, so sent it across to her, and of course she knocked it in. And then for my goal, it was actually the reverse of that. So Erin sent it down to Catherine on the baseline, and I was open on actually the near post and knocked it in. So that was a fun little reverse of both of our goals.
At forward, UNC has Matson, Hayden, and you consistently performing for this team. What's your relationship like with these players, and how does that affect the success of the team?
Yeah, so we worked together last year. We were the 3 starting forwards last year, and that definitely has helped us create really great chemistry this year. We come out early before practice and just work on those connections, and that's really reflected in the game, so it's been fun.
Yeah. You often hear offense sells tickets and defense wins games, but for UNC's field hockey team, offense does both. The Heels still undefeated blow their opponents out of the water with their force of an offense. The 3 forwards help to break down the opponent's defense, allowing them easy transition goals. With those 3 at the helm, it's looking like the Heels could continue with the streak. Marissa, you're 12 games into the season so far with possibly many more to come. What's been a highlight for you of the season so far?
Playing Duke last week was probably a really big highlight for me, but looking forward, we're just looking to finish out the regular season really strong. We play Wake Forest this week, so it's always just focusing on that next game, so really excited.
Absolutely. Marissa and her Tar Heel teammates have had a spectacular season so far with an overall 12-0 record, and they just keep piling on the wins with a 35-game undefeated streak dating back to 2018. The defensive performance of this team isn't too shabby either. Goalkeeper Amanda Hendry has had 30 saves while allowing only 9 goals. Hendry won the ACC Defensive Player of the Week last week as Matson won Offensive Player of the Week. The Heels have scored 55 goals this season with an average of more than 4 goals per game, allowing only 10 goals thus far. The Heels face number 17 Wake Forest on Friday in Winston-Salem at 6 p.m. Last question for you, Marissa. 35 undefeated games. People are expecting this team to continue to win and you to continue to perform. What's it like playing under that pressure?
Yeah, so we really just try to focus on that next game. So we don't look to the past, we don't look to the future. It's just win the next game, focus on our game plan, and make it happen one game at a time.
And what are your expectations for the season?
You know, obviously we set big goals for ourselves at the beginning of the season, and we hope to go all the way, but you know, we just got to keep working hard and put our heads down.
Well, I am excited to see what happens the rest of the season, and I'm hoping that y'all can bring home another national championship to Chapel Hill. Thank you, Marissa.
Thank you.
And back to you guys.
Thanks, Caroline. So, Brian, as you saw, 35 consecutive wins. Doesn't this look like another national championship season for the field
we've
hockey
said it
team?
multiple times. They're definitely going to win. I mean, field hockey looks fun to play. I wonder if she's taking any walk-ons because I want to get a ring.
Me too. Sunday, the UNC women's soccer team traveled to Pittsburgh to take on the Panthers. Coming off a 0-0 draw against the Duke Blue Devils, the Heels found themselves down 1-0 after the Panthers picked up a loose ball in the box and tucked it away in the 12th minute. However, Coach Dorrance fired up his offense after the halftime break, and just 4 minutes in, Brianna Pinto found the back of the net from Lotta Wubben-Moy's cross. The defender would find her second assist in the 56th minute after her free kick found the feet of Taylor Otto, who lofted it into the far corner. Late in the second half, the Heels would score one more goal to close the game 3-1 for their 12th win. UNC returns to action on Thursday at Boston College. The surging volleyball team was hoping to extend a bit of a win streak with 2 weekend home matches. Friday, Miami came to town. UNC took care of business in the first set, but Miami came out on top in the second, thanks to this kill from outside hitter Janet Kay. After a team huddle in the middle of the third set, the Tar Heels started their block party. Blocks like this from outside hitter Carly Peck, and this one from outside hitter Lauren Harrison helped UNC cruise in the third set. In the fourth set, it was yet another block that made the difference, this time from Destiny Cox and Aristea Tantai to win the set. The Tar Heels took this one 3-1 to win their third consecutive match. Against FSU on Sunday, the Heels were neck and neck with the Seminoles in the first set, losing 26-24 after multiple set points. With 15 kills from Florida State in the second set, the Heels were down early, but a killer performance by redshirt freshman Lauren Harrison and senior Skylar Wine. The Heels were able to force the math to 5 sets. This duo tallied 32 kills in the last set, giving the Heels the edge they needed. Sophomore Destiny Cox was also on the comeback team, tallying 2 important blocks to help seal the deal. Heels with a big upset, 3-2.
Just to show the maturity, how we've come and where we've come in a month is just amazing. And I'm just so proud of their trust in each other, in the coaches, and how they're really growing up and maturing in the game. And that's what this match is about. So as a coach, you're just really proud of seeing that growth.
Heading into their 17th game of the season, the Heels are looking pretty hot on offense. Sophomore Annabelle Archer and redshirt junior Hunter Atherton led the team in assists with a whopping 357 and 245 respectively. The two sit at the top of the stat sheet with a staggering difference of 184 between Atherton and the closest teammate. Archer and Atherton are setting up a new and powerful front line, led by freshman Parker Alston and redshirt freshman Lauren Harrison. This pair tallied 29 kills in the team's most recent match against Florida State. Harrison claimed 184 kills thus far, and Austin sits close behind with 165. With 12 more matches left before the NCC tournament, these Heels have the opportunity to finish the regular season in a record-breaking style.
On to one of the more refined sports. Homesickness is normal in college, but what if your family lives across the Atlantic Ocean? Nick Perlin says two sisters from England have used fencing to make their sister bond stronger than ever.
From Dorking, England, just 1 hour outside of London, Georgina and Charlotte Summers find themselves in a totally new world at Chapel Hill. Both sisters started fencing at a young age. Georgina, now a senior at UNC Chapel Hill, started her college experience as a track athlete at Florida Atlantic.
The academics wasn't very challenging, and the running program wasn't exactly what I would have hoped for. So I decided to transfer here my sophomore year and join the fencing team.
The early years were hard. She knew nobody and experienced some culture shock.
When I first came here, I did struggle, not gonna lie. Just the cultural differences. Even though we speak the same language, just the people are slightly different, the food's slightly different, just the way of life, the mentality.
After getting more comfortable in an unfamiliar culture, she persuaded her younger sister Charlotte to attend UNC and join the fencing team. Despite some sibling rivalry when they were younger, they are now inseparable.
When we were like 10 or 11, obviously we fought a lot, just because like the age difference, like she was just really mean to me, but like that's expected in siblings. But yeah, we're really close. She lives right next to me. Like if ever I have any issues, I always go to her, like with my social aspects or like with fencing. She's not only a teammate, she's like one of my best friends. So like if I ever have any issues, like she's the first person I go to.
Fencing has helped make their relationship even stronger. In Chapel Hill, I'm Nick Perlin reporting.
Having a family member not only in college but as a teammate makes for a special relationship that not many people can relate to.
Brian, London, fencing. Doesn't this remind you of The Parent Trap?
Oh, Parent Trap, great movie. Fantastic movie. They should make a movie about them.
They should.
Like the sequel.
They should.
Well, it's been hot girl summer for our women's team. It's turning out to be sad boy season for one of our men's teams.
Stay tuned to find out what's going on with men's soccer.
All right, crew, let's get started. Sure.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
What would happen if I had to pick up the phone, call 911 for one of my family members or one of my neighbors? What would I do if no one was on the other end to respond? What if there was no 911? So you can be a part of the solution.
Anybody can be a firefighter. Male, female, younger, older.
We have school teachers. We have leaders in business.
Is me, you, anyone that wants to be.
There is no typical firefighter.
The women's tennis team traveled to Tulsa, Oklahoma for the ITA Women's All-American Championship, and One Hill had a chance at a title. Third-seeded senior Alexa Graham advanced to the finals for singles in hopes of becoming the second Tar Heel to capture the title. Graham took on number 12 Ashley Leahy of Pepperdine in the singles final. In the opening set, Leahy had a 4-0 lead before Graham rallied, but the Pepperdine senior closed out the first set. In the second set, Graham had the chance to serve and stay in the match. Down 15-40, she saved 2 match points but couldn't get a third, falling in straight sets. Despite losing in the final round of the ITA All-American Classic, Alexa Graham has been nothing short of dominant in her last year at Carolina. The senior is ranked number 4 and is 10-2 overall in the singles play this year, with 9 of those victories against top 50 ranked opponents. Graham won the singles title at the Furman Fall Classic, made it to the quarterfinals in singles and semifinals of the doubles at the Oracle ITA Masters, and now this weekend to the finals in singles and quarterfinals in the doubles of the ITA All-American Classic. Graham looks to continue her hot streak in 2 weeks at the ITA Regional Championships in Winston-Salem. The men's tennis team finished up at the ITA All-American Championships in Tulsa, Oklahoma, coming home empty-handed. Brian Kernach advanced to the Constellation quarterfinals, losing to Cannon Kingsley of Ohio State. In a 3-set battle in doubles, Matt Kiger and Simon Stonegard lost in the quarterfinals to a pair from South Carolina in a tough 3-set match.
The University of North Carolina celebrated its 226th birthday on Saturday, and the UNC men's soccer team needed a little birthday magic when they hosted Syracuse. Syracuse scored the opening goal before fans could blink when midfielder Ryan Raposo slid his shot past Alex Smear. Smear would definitely not want to watch that again. After forward Alex Rose equalized with the big header, UNC took the lead when Jonathan Jimenez cut through the penalty box and slid his shot into the corner. Jimenez made his presence felt again when the Orange knocked over the freshman in the penalty box. Santiago Herrera converted the penalty to give Carolina a 3-1 lead. Syracuse responded by scoring three unanswered goals, and the comeback peaked when Raposo completed his hat trick with 3 minutes remaining. Heels lose 4-3.
I don't know if it's tactically. I think they just played harder than us in the second half. They just got the ball forward, squeezed up, and just kept putting the ball on our end and putting numbers on our end, and that's probably it if that's tactics, but that's probably just more an energy level.
The men's soccer team is ranked 18th, but the season has been full of ups and downs. In addition to the heartbreaking loss to Syracuse, the Heels walked away at home with a 0-0 tie against an unranked Davidson, a team the Heels were expecting to demolish. The Heels then fell to the Blue Devils at home 3-2 late October. That was the first loss against Duke since 1999 at home. Despite their inconsistencies, the men's soccer team still has a chance to make it to the NCAA final, but will have to overcome a few teams in the ACC first. This Friday, the Heels will take on Wake Forest in Winston-Salem, and then the following Friday, the Heels will take on Louisville in Chapel Hill. The team is currently 7-3-2 this season and 3-2 in the ACC.
Latinx Heritage Month comes to an end this week, and the Latinos on the men's soccer team have been embracing their heritage. Our Julian Berger got an inside look.
This year's celebration has been different than others for the UNC men's soccer team. The Latino men on the team have been posting Instagram highlights to show a sneak peek of their culture.
We all thought, what better way than to tell our stories, give a piece back to everybody who follows us and everybody who supports us, and let them know where we come from, what our story is, and how proud we are to be a part of the Latino community.
Aguilera says the sense of family within the soccer team reminds him of being back home with his Mexican family in Sanford, Florida.
That's a little special thing we got going on, with the amount of Latino players that we have on the team. It's nice to have those people that we can talk to about certain things that are going on, or, something that other people might understand.
Aguilera says he and his team like to have a taste at home by eating at various Hispanic restaurants around Chapel Hill. Their favorite, this Venezuelan food truck.
The team also has favorite songs that help the Heels stay close to their roots. Me Rehuso by Danny Ocean is one of those songs.
I think that will forever be our team song. Whenever I hear it, I just think of our team.
In Chapel Hill, I'm Julian Berger reporting.
To see the Latinx Heritage Month features post on the men's soccer team's Instagram, you can go to UNC Men's Soccer. After a long and rainy tournament, the women's golf team finished in 7th place in the 44th annual Ruth's Chris Invitational on Saturday. Only one Tar Heel placed in the top 10, sophomore Jenna Zhu. Zhu recorded a 5-under score of 211 on the weekend. She had 16 birdies. The Heels will hit the 9 again at the Landfall Tradition in Wilmington a week from Friday.
Last year, reporter Josh Connor and I started a segment called Heel If I Know, where we went around campus seeing if UNC students really knew Carolina sports, and we decided to bring it back for another season. From the Hussman School of Journalism and Media, we're out to see if UNC students really know Carolina sports.
And what we'll find out? Heel if I know. So, people have been missing out on tickets to football games. It's been a big thing. And he wants to implement like a new talent show, apparently. It's like a talent show where people come in to like the Union once a week and people just like show off their talents, whether it's juggling, singing, something else like that. What do you think about this new creative idea of people getting tickets?
I think it's a cool way to get tickets because the lottery system kind of stinks.
Yeah.
Who you are doesn't make a difference. So.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a good way probably to show like people's spirit.
Do you know who Roy Williams is?
No.
Really? Do you know who Michael Jordan is?
Yes.
Luke May?
No.
Kobe White?
No.
He has big hair. You have to know who Kobe White is.
Don't go here.
I know you're probably a big fan of UNC sports, right? You go to UNC.
I am a fan of school spirit.
School spirit.
Yeah.
Okay, we can take that.
Courtney Banghart. She's in her 30th season as a women's basketball coach. Do you think she's on track, or do you think she's going to pass Pat Summitt this year for all-time wins?
Yes.
You think so? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm here with Daisy. avid UNC fan. Daisy, can you tell me how many wins Mac Brown has as a UNC head coach?
There is a recruit on campus this weekend. It's a serious question. Guy's name is Josh Connor. He's 6'6".
We know him.
You know him?
Yeah.
Dude, you know about him? Dude, all of us.
As far as Caleb Love is concerned, do you think he'll be better than his uncle Kevin Love, who played here about like 12 years ago?
Sure. Why not?
Well, so I did go out and do that with Heal If I Know. There were a lot of students who, they caught us. So most of our students, very smart, they stay on top of it with their sports knowledge.
I mean, they go to Carolina.
Yeah, we got a few, but for the majority of our students, kudos to them.
Kudos. Well, that does it for this edition of Sports Extra. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.